Hey y'all, 2017 Pigeon Forge Rod Run Fall Edition, and I got a 1948 Dodge Pilot House Radio Cab rare truck that's been slammed to the ground I think y'all are gonna like. Let me get the camera turned around, we'll take a quick look at it. Kyle, thanks for giving me some time this morning. Tell me a little bit about your hot rod.
Yeah, thanks for coming by. We've got a 1948 Dodge. Started out its life as a 1.5 tons. With the corner windows, it's considered a Pilot House cab. Pretty rare truck. Being that it was also a radio cab.
What's that mean?
Not a whole lot. We're a Pilot House with a radio.
Oh, okay.
So it's rare in that sense. It's also kind of special to me, being that it's never left the county that I was born and raised in. So,
really? Where'd you find it?
This came from a good friend of mine, Mr. Potter and Miss Kate Potter. They had it behind their old house on a farm, and saw it one day, and I thought, you know, that thing would be sweet slammed on the ground. So
you were right.
I picked at them. Well, thanks.
Yeah, you're right.
I picked at them slowly but surely. They sold me the truck for $22.
$22?
$22.
Man alive, let's not let them see this video.
No, they're as proud as anybody.
What did it make its living as?
It was a grain truck.
A grain truck.
Yeah, so it sat inside most of its life. Wow, this truck's fairly solid.
Tell me about what condition was it in when you got it?
It had obviously a big 1.5 ton chassis underneath it. It had a big 5th wheel hitch on it, dually. It was red.
I was getting ready to say, I bet it was red.
It was red. It had black fenders, but everything I pretty much left exactly the way it was. We did not do any dent repair. We didn't do any metal work except for on the bottom of the doors.
Now, and you've done quite a bit of metal work back here, right?
Yes, sir. The whole back, pretty much the cab, the doghouse is all the only thing that's original left. As far as the bed sides, frame for everything underneath is all custom. The front bumper actually came from a 53 International. We split it top and bottom and added 5 inches just to give that big bumper look, kind of aggressive in your rear view mirror kind of thing. Get it down
to where it needed to be.
Right,
yeah.
right.
What about these running boards?
You know, the running boards was a challenge for me mentally, physically, visually, to get that front fender somehow to work with how wide I wanted to go in the rear. I handmade, you know, everything front to back, gave it a little swoop out to marry up to the rear fenders.
Now, is that running board, the flat part of the running board, one piece, and then the sides another? Or is that all one?
That's all one piece.
Holy
It's
smokes,
all one piece.
Man.
We took a plasma table and I rendered it digitally and then cut those out. Front lip of that is actually a single piece by itself, so we had to weld that seam there on the front edge. But as far as the turn up and out under the cab, it's all one piece.
Holy smokes. And then these fenders, what'd you do to come up with those?
I knew that I didn't want to put a different model truck, I didn't want to put a Chevy fender on a Dodge. Yeah, I definitely wanted to keep nostalgia look. I wanted to, if there was such a thing as a wide fender dually back in the day, that was my goal. How would it look in 48? So I took a Chevy fender, cut the teardrop off. It took 4 Chevy fenders to make
one of those.
2.
Oh, 2 of those. So
I used the fronts. So the opposite side of one front became the back side of the back of the other. So
did y'all follow that, folks? It's very confusing, but it worked.
Flip-flop,
right? At the end of the day,
right?
It worked. Does it really have dualies under it?
It does. It's got full duals.
Where do you find low profile tires like that?
Well, that's the challenge. With a semi wheel, those are Alcoa semi wheels.
Yeah.
They come in a 24.5. And then the seat, the bead seat on the wheel, we took a lathe and we turned them down to 24. Really a standard 24-inch
But you had
tire.
to customize the wheel to make that work.
Yep. And then we also stuck them in a CNC mill and opened the holes up quite a bit.
Oh, okay.
But you know, being that those wheels are rated 40,000 pound,
because you got a what do you call that thing? Gooseneck.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. This thing tows.
You in 2 hot rods on this thing yesterday.
That's right. That's right.
I missed it, but yeah, I saw it on Facebook or Instagram or something. Where you were coming through Pigeon Forge and had a gooseneck and a Nova and a pickup truck you were pulling through.
Yep. That's really the whole point of this truck, is to use it. I mean, people can pick apart every little bitty dent, ding, and imperfection, but that's kind of what we were going for, is something we can jump in halfway through a work day and go grab lunch or haul a bunch of wood or whatever we want to do.
Brother, if anybody picks this apart, they just don't get it. You know, don't even talk to them. You know, this world's full of idiots. Just let that one go, because this truck, I mean, it represents well what it is. It's not a wreck, but it's still got that. I've been worked. I've seen a rough life, and I'm ready to go do some hot rod.
That's right.
To it,
That's right.
And you gave it some flash in here, kind of a hot rod interior, but I think it still fits the truck. Still got the bench seat and all in it.
Took it to an upholsterer and the original seat. Just told him I wanted a little bit of a hump in the middle, kind of cushion both sides of you when two people are sitting in, and didn't want to do buckets because I got 2 little girls, and definitely wanted to get them in here when needed.
No, I think it fits. And no door panels, you just painted the doors?
That's right. Trying to keep it simple, not really interested in going all out.
And then the transmission tunnel too is just very shallow and small. It's not anything that really comes up big.
Yeah, that was created about 3 o'clock in the morning. We worked night and day trying to get to the power tour this year, and came up a couple days short, but we'll be there next year for sure.
So that's cool. You're going to get out and drive it on the power tour?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Given that this truck is kind of a daily, we wanted to make sure we had cold AC, heat in the winter. So we went with the Restomod Air. It's actually called a Bantam 2 unit. It's the smallest, coldest unit on the market in my opinion. And then their accessories to go with, like their vents, control panels. I just think it fits exactly what we were going for. So they were fantastic to work with. Got to kind of see some things before they were ever even on the shelf. And so we got to choose from them. Enjoyed being in their booth for the power tour on Friday that was in Bowling Green. Okay. They had us there, and then we went with the Edge CT2 programmer, which is actually my speedometer, odometer, everything. Yeah. But we can
keep tracks of miles too.
Yeah. Yeah. We can tune on the fly. Yeah. See all the diagnostics.
Tell you gas gauge or anything like that?
No. No. I haven't got there yet.
So up underneath, did you add a custom chassis, or what'd you do there?
Yeah, we took a 01 Dodge 2500, and the only thing we used from it was the front clip and the rear end. I took that challenge to Self-Made Fab in Dayton, Ohio. A guy named Brandon did his magic. Pretty much dumped a bunch of parts and pieces to him and said, hey, I want this to fit here, and he did a pretty good job. We were able to use stock upper lower controls, even stock sway bar.
So he did that without any body or anything?
I took him the cab. Right. He had no bed. We used Jason Thorbro's. He does a big ball 4-link end, definitely overbuilt. We chose that to be able to stand the weight this thing's gonna pull, and Brandon mostly did all the suspension and created a roller for us. And from there on, we did the rest of it.
Is this thing sitting on bags?
Actually, spent a lot of time figuring out what bags to use and what setup, because I did not want this thing to ride like a chuck wagon. Right. But what happens is you use such a large bag, it creates so much air pressure in the rear that it's real hard on you in the rear end. So I went with a triple stack tube bag, and then obviously had to go with Ride Tech adjustable shocks. Oh, okay, yeah. And so they work well on my combo car. Yeah, I bet they work out. They have something for a truck too. Yeah, yeah. I called them up, gave them my dimensions, and we got the smooth body, dual adjustable. And those things are like guaranteed, warranted for like 1,000,001 miles or something. It's like the front page of their website. Isn't it? Right. So, I mean, no, I'm a big fan. They support me and I support them. So how cool is that? Can't beat them. We have the Indo VT air tanks, which is pretty cool unit, and Vi-Air dual 400 compressors. I got to know, what's the Rustic Nail? Well, that's the other half of all this craziness. It's a cool name, but right. Rustic Nail is a company I started 5 years ago. We do custom design and build for high-end residential and commercial. We've really been getting into restaurants here lately, doing some crazy things there, but that's kind of how all this flows together. Is we do a lot of metal work, a lot of woodwork, ingenuity, architectural. So my real passion's hot rods, right? But I pay my bill. But your background's an engineer, right? And if people are ever in Bowling Green and go to that seafood restaurant downtown at Steamers, that big fish that's hanging from the ceiling, Kyle built that, made that, designed that whole thing, right? Yes, sir. Yeah. Now, if you get to Bowling Green, make sure you check that out, guys, because that's way cool. This isn't the only thing he builds. He builds his hot rod, but he makes his living doing something else. Oh, yeah. You know, I went to Steamers, and I dropped your name like
2 foot in the door. So you got a tab over there for about 150 bucks. What power is this beast?
It's a 24 valve twin turbo Cummins. The guys at King Speed Diesel in my local town, Bowling Green, I pretty much said, hey, here's kind of what I want to spend, and you guys know what you're doing, let's do it. So they came up with this setup, and I couldn't be more thrilled. It's got plenty of power under the hood.
Have you dynoed it?
No, that is in the future, but we're still kind of tuning, checking things out,
right.
You know, tightening things up, and you know, we went from making 20 pounds of boost to simple tightening things up, a couple tunes. Now we're making about 70.
Holy cow.
So it jumped pretty quick, pretty fast.
And then you run nitrous on this thing too?
Yeah, we haven't hooked it up, but we're looking to
put that on too.
Throw a little nitrous in there.
Man, you got to take it somewhere, drag racer, right?
Yeah, we're gonna run it down Beach Bend someday.
Yeah,
see what it'll take.
Man, I'm gonna have to come over and see that. Now you've done really nice under here. It's very clean and well done. You know, not to the level that you would see like a show car or something like that, but a lot cleaner than what I would imagine it came from in the factory, you know, back in whatever this, what did you say, 50 something?
48.
48, yeah.
But yeah, my word to them was, you know, they said, well, what do you want it to look like? And I said, well, I want it to fit the hot rod world, but I also want it just to be as clean as possible.
Right.
And you know, there's a lot of parts and pieces to a Dodge, so yeah. I didn't want it to look like it came from straight out of Dodge factory.
Right.
You know, I wanted to
but you
have
didn't want to look like it was
feel.
put together in the backyard either.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's
right. There's a fine line.
Yeah, this is more than professional built.
Yeah.
It's
no, they did
very
a nice
well done.
job. Dude, y'all nailed it. It took a team to get it done, but you know, like I said, it was your vision to start with, but you found the right players to make it happen. And no, it's a well-built truck. You know, I mean, you're using it. It's cool. It cruises. What else could you want? How cool is that?
That's right. That was our goal.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Thanks.
So there you go, from the 2017 Pigeon Forge Rod Run Fall Edition, a 1948 Dodge Pilot House Radio Cab slam down hot rod truck. Hope y'all have enjoyed it. See ya! Hey y'all, don't forget to visit ScottieDTV.com for more cool content and an easy way to search the hundreds of videos I have posted. Either click the link in the description or the logo at the end of this video.